Okay, hi. I just wanted to. It's Mike Poling, Silver Harbor Woodworking. I wanted to show you my laser module. I had a lot of questions about adding on to CNC with regards to how we're mounting it. So just to give you an idea of the connectors I've used here, this is an endurance laser, 10-watt laser. So the endurance laser comes with the control box and the laser module. Control box will generally have two wires coming out of it on one end and two wires that are going to go, or it may be wired permanently to the laser module here. Mine was originally wired, but I want to be able to take it on and off, so I just put butt connectors onto it that I can plug it in and take it apart anytime I want to. But generally, these two will be wired together. So you should have two connectors here. Those are going to run to your CNC controller, and I've got another video about that, and you can always email me or George or any of the other guys that are helping George out, and we can tell you where to connect. Try to tell you where to connect those. Every CNC and every 3D printer is different, so we can't always tell you exactly what the software is going to do. You'll have to map the software generally to an output, and then use that output to turn the laser on and off. But that's not part of this video right now. What I wanted to show you was the mount. And what I've got here is I've got a collet. I'm just going to disconnect the power. So just for a review, this goes back to the computer control board. This is the laser control board. Laser control board accepts the TTL signals in from these wires, and then transfers that information into the on-off for the laser. So I wanted to show you how I mounted this, though, because this is different from what anybody else is doing that I know of. I haven't seen this done yet, and it's the simplest solution that I could possibly come up with. So I just gotta be careful how I disconnect this here. There we go. Okay, good. All right, so I'm just gonna disconnect the power and disconnect the butt connectors here. Essentially, there's the laser module. What I did is, hopefully you can see this. I'm just going to check and see. Okay, so what I did is I attached. This is an arbor or a shaft from an old sanding disc, and I just took it off. It's got a screw in the bottom. Took it off. I put it on a 90-degree angle shelving bracket. And I tried to line it up with the laser as best I could. I did not machine this one, so it's not exact. I'm going to work with people to try to see if I can get it exactly so that this matches up exactly with the center of the laser, so that when it spins, if it spins or anything like that, it's going to be even. Like right now, that laser is moving, so that's not optimal. But the advantage of that is that if we line it up with the center of the arbor here, I believe that's called the arbor. If we line it up with the center there, you'll know the center of the beam is going to be lined up with the center of the router bit that you use. So all you do is you use it just like a router bit. You slip it in, and if you've already zeroed your router bit on the X and Y axes, you won't ever have to zero it again. You just take the bit out, slip this in, tighten it up, and away you go. You're good. You're good for being lined up on the X and Y axes. All you'll have to do is adjust your Z to whatever level your focal length is at, and you're done. And then what you can do is you can carve anything you want and then outline or highlight the carve with a laser. Now, I've tried this, and it does not work out with mine right now because it's somewhat offset. And the offset is different because I didn't line everything up. I'm not a machinist, so that's what happens when you work in healthcare and you start to dabble in these things. You don't necessarily have the skills necessary to machine your own mounts and things like that. But this was a simple addition. So what I have done that works okay for bigger projects, or sorry, for smaller projects, is I've just noted what the offset is, and I factored that into when I zero my X and Y. Not optimal, but if we can get one made that will line this up exactly with the center of the laser, then that's it. You'll simply just slip it in. The laser will be automatically lined up. The point of the laser will be automatically lined up with the center of the router bit that you had in previously, and away you go. That is really, really simple, and it will work on anything that takes any spindle, any router, pretty much anything, including a Dremel. So all you'd have to do is just change this on a Dremel. You change it out for I think Dremels take 1/8 inch bit, or is it 3 millimeters? Doesn't matter. You're basically just going to change the arbor out for that to the right size. I use either a 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch collet. This is a 1/4 inch. So I found that, I slipped it in. So that is what I'm doing right now. And if I was a machinist, I would have lined this up exactly with this, and I would have no problems at all. But I'm not a machinist, so. Anyway, that's the idea that I had, and it seems to work out pretty well. And if I can get it perfect, it will work out really well. It's also quick to change, and the other advantage is it takes your lens and all your fans, you take them away from all the dust you're going to create with your router or your spindle, okay, which messes up your electronics. The other thing I did was, just so you know, worried about these electronics here getting dust in them. I mounted it with industrial strength Velcro, so I can just pop it off at any time. It takes me exactly 3 minutes to change this out. That's it, 3 minutes, and then I'm done. So I go back and forth all the time. I just basically use the laser just like a router bit. Anyway, that's my thought process, and we'll patent that idea and make billions of dollars, right? Okay. All right, take care.